just really, really amazing season. I'm proud of our team. 13-0. It's just been a special year. It's been a historic year. I mean, these guys. We always have our team goals, but we sat down and we talked about some kind of goals within the goals. And these guys have done an amazing job of working toward those things. I mean, just unbelievable. I've never really been a part of a team like this. The consistent leadership and the focused leadership that we've had has been really special. And, just for this seniors, their accomplishment, 53 wins now, and obviously to win 4 in a row, it's special. So, and I'm happy for our fans, for them to be able to see this and be a part of it. As I said out on the field, this is 10 years ago, this was an emotional night for me, very emotional night, because I got the opportunity to be the head coach at Clemson on this day. And 10 years later, it's still an emotional night for different reasons. But it's just amazing the journey that we've been on. And as I told the team, we're not in this position if it wasn't what took place before us. That team in 15 and 16 and 17 to give this team that opportunity. So just an awesome night. We got one goal left, and that's to try to win our closer. And we'll go to work on that right away. I'm not sure where we're going to go or any of that stuff. But I thought the game itself, it was a lot of fun, sloppy, grindy, awful footing, just wet, but just a lot of fun. And, man, give Pitt a lot of credit. Congratulations to them, too, for winning their division and getting here tonight. I know it was a great experience for them. We were fortunate that we were able to kind of get a fast start and a quick lead. But they did not quit. They continued to play tough all the way to the end. But for us to be able to run the ball for 300 yards, a lot of credit to this guy next to me. What a year he's had. It's been special to watch Travis blossom into the player that he is. But he took it over for us. That offensive line, we had no turnovers and rushed for 300 yards. So we made just enough plays in the passing game. And then, defensively, 3 turnovers. 2 of them set us up for one-play scores. We settled in nicely on the run game there in the second half. They had 8 yards passing. So just a hard-fought game, and like I said, a gritty game. And our guys were focused and ready to go. And a lot of fun in that locker room. It never gets old coming up here, being a part of a special celebration. You never know when you're going to get another opportunity to be a part of something like this. We started 122 days ago, and we kind of had that countdown going all year. And these guys have been the epitome of the commitment that we talked about back on August 1st. So just really proud of our team. I'm really just thankful for the opportunity to be a part of it. Our staff is amazing. And, our fans, just awesome. What an environment that we had tonight. Appreciate Charlotte and the venue that we have. It was a great evening.
Questions, raise your hand. Let's get the handheld mic to you. Front row.
Mitch Northam. I'm from Pittsburgh Sports Now. Coach, you're only the second team this year to run for more than 300 yards against Pitt. I mean, coming into this, what did you kind of see that led you to believe that you could kind of maybe expose them there?
Well, we weren't really sure coming into it. I mean, they're really good. They forced the issue. That's kind of what I told our guys. Is this wasn't going to be a 15-round deal? They don't get in the ring and dance around and then pop out and then get out and let the clock run, and they're a knock you out or you knock them out type of team. They're in your face, toe to toe, but they challenge you. The safeties are downhill, the backers are downhill, but we fit some things up. We opened up the game with a little outside zone, and that was about as well blocked a play as we've had all year. And then he just made a great run. He did a great job of stretching it and setting the blocks. We got some good blocks downfield, and. But they did a good job. They settled in. We just hit some big plays on them in the run game. But then with the type of game that it was, I mean, it was just we mishandled a few balls and missed a few throws. We just kind of hung in there with it, and our OL kind of took it over, and then these backs, all the way down to the end. It was great to see Adam, break that long one at the end. But we just kind of did what we've done all year, and we just stuck with our zone and our counter scheme. We mixed in a little bit of outside zone, but we danced with who brung us. That's what we did, and we were able to win the matchup up front.
Middle of the room.
Hey, Coach, Jim Morrison, WGNC Radio. You mentioned the journey, and you've had a lot of good ones over the last couple of years. How special was this one to be able to get to 13-0?
It's really just indescribable. I mean, I've been doing this a long time now, and the years just kind of, it becomes a blur. I got into coaching in 1993, and then I got this job 10 years ago today. I can't even believe I've been the head coach 10 years here. And this is my 16th year overall at Clemson. And I came here thinking I'd be here a year or 2 years, and here I am. It's just crazy. But that was God's plan for me, and I'm just so thankful. And what was accomplished this year, I mean, these guys won 11 games by 20 points or more. We set the school record for touchdowns, offensive touchdowns. That offense we had in 16 was pretty good. And these guys shattered it tonight. And we still got more games, hopefully 2 more games. And most of these guys are back on offense next year. I mean, we've got an unbelievably special group. But what I love more than anything is just coming to work every day and knowing that you're around good people. People who really care about what you're doing. They're passionate about it. And this team has had an unbelievable focus. There's been these guys have just been locked in all year long, and I'm just really. They love each other. They really, really like and appreciate and love each other. It's a very close football team. Our practices, it's just no nonsense, because it can be a grind. I mean, there's a lot of monotony in what you got to do to get ready week in and week out, and every week we've been favored by a lot and all that stuff. It don't matter. I mean, these guys just get ready as if we're playing the Saints every week. That's just kind of the mindset of these guys. They want to play well. And so it's been great. My word for the year has been joy all year. And I've had so much joy with this team. Just incredible joy in the journey. Because that's, at the end of the day, that's what it all comes down to. I'm going to miss these guys. I mean, I love these guys. And got a lot of guys. This is the most seniors class I've ever had, most veterans I've ever had on a team. And, man, to be a part of their lives for, 4 and 5 years, and to see the transformation and to see them achieve what they've achieved it's just incredible. I know, as a grown man, I know what that's going to mean to them down the road. I mean, for them, this is just kind of a cool moment in life, and they just this is just who they are and what they're doing. But, man, I know what it's going to mean to them when they're 35 and when they're 40 and down the road. And when they have a chance to really reflect, because it's going to be the relationships, it's going to be the journey that they're going to remember. I went last night, we went to the banquet, and they had all those legends up there. And I'm talking about guys that have done amazing things in the game of football, and they talked about this time in their lives. And these are the relationships that they'll have forever. And very few people get an opportunity to experience what I've been able to experience and what these guys have been able to experience. And if you just look around for some perspective, ironically, I've seen it on both sides, because I was at Alabama in 93, 94, 95, and 96 when we lost to the Gators. Coach Spurrier reminded me of that. So it's good to be on the other side of it. But it hasn't been done. It hasn't been done since then. No Power 5 team has done it. And so it's incredibly difficult to have the type of consistency that we've had. And so it just takes good people. You got to have good players, but you got to have good people. And that's what we try to do. We try to recruit people first, players second. When I went to Jennings, Louisiana, and I sat over in his grandmama's house, and his mom was there, and his sister, and his little brother. And, I mean, I just knew. I was like, this is a special young man. And to see him, come in here and do what he's done, and to be so humble about it. He doesn't even really know that he's a great player. He just kind of goes about his business and loves his teammates, and so it's been special, unbelievable journey. I'll never ever forget it. And again, this is an awesome moment. This is great. This is special to be able to stand on the stage and hold the trophy and all that. But man, it's the practices, it's the grind in August, and it's those meetings. It's our Friday night meetings. It's the bus rides. That's the stuff. It's the guys messing around and having fun. Those are the things that you always remember.
Second row to our right.
Hey, Coach Swinney, Chris Heidel from Herb FM Radio. How special was it tonight to share it with your son on the stage, and your family after everything was done?
Yeah, well, if you go back and watch my press conference from 10 years ago on this day, you'll see my sweet wife who's here, Kathleen, and my mom. They were there that day. But if you go back and look at that, it's hilarious because it's the epitome of my children. Will, my oldest, he was kind of on the edge of his seat. He's 10. He's listening to everything Dad said. He's kind of my shadow. He's a mini me. And then Drew, he's kind of laid back like this, like, this is great, but it's all good. He's just kind of cool. And then Clay, my baby, he's knocked out, asleep, like could care less what's going on, and that is like the epitome of my three children. And so 10 years later, I mean, if you go back and you freeze that moment, because, as you get older, like, you don't really feel any different. It just seems like yesterday. But if that moment's frozen in my mind, and now 10 years later, Will and Drew are on the team. And to see them be a part of it, it's just incredible. And Clay's over there working for me on the sideline and was actually awake for all 4 quarters. And it's just amazing. It's special as a parent to be able to share that with your children and to see them just love what they're doing.
Second row again. Questions for Travis as well.
Brad Sink of the State. Dabo, you seem to not take these ACC championships for granted. And all the time that people talk about playoff, these really mean something to you. The last 4, talk about how much you've savored those and just how you continue to press upon your players what these mean.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, if we can compete for this league, then we have a chance to do bigger and better things. And so, it's important. And when I got the job, that was what I said. We gotta compete in the league. We'll become great from the inside out. We gotta learn how to compete in practice. We gotta learn how to think. I gotta create this attitude of belief. I gotta get other people to believe in what we're doing, and then and we gotta become a consistent team in our league, and then we'll blossom from there. And so the first year we won our first division in 2009, and that was amazing. We lost to Georgia Tech in that first championship. 2 years later, we got back here in 2011, played VTech, and to win it for the first time in 20 years at that time, it was a big deal. I mean, it was a big deal because this is who we are at Clemson. But it had been so long since we had won this league, and then to get back here again in 15, 16, 17, and now 18. This is what we set out to do every single year. We keep our goals simple. We want to win the opener, want to win our division, win our state championship, win this league, and win the closer. And those allow us to compete at the highest level. But if you can't win this league or compete consistently for the league, then you're never going to be the type of program that you want. And so for us, it's everything. I mean, this leads to bigger and better things. And we've been able to be really consistent in our conference play.
Front row.
Travis, could you kind of walk us through that first handoff and, kind of what you saw and what you felt at the end of that 75-yard handoff?
Just going into that first play, it was kind of like a little outside zone that we have been running all week, and I knew it was going to be the first play of the game, and just getting that handoff and seeing the backer where he fit and seeing it was just well blocked. I mean, it was just a big hole, and I got around that to the outside, and Amari just has this guy just standing still like that, and I mean, after that, I just knew I was going because Amari, great block downfield, wouldn't have made it without him. I just thank him for that.
Middle of the room.
Travis, Trevor Groves, TigerNet.com. You didn't have a lot of yards in this game last year. Just wondering how special it was for you to have a game like you had tonight after being named ACC Player of the Year, and of course breaking the Clemson single-season rush TD record last week.
I mean, all that credit just goes to my offensive line. Just them coming in Monday through Friday, just grinding in practice every day and seeing what they do just gives us, the group of backs that we have, we just want to go out there and lay it on the line for them. And I think the reason I've been so successful this year is just because the group of backs that I have, Tavian coming in there, just weighing the defense down, Adam coming in, and you see what he doing and out. And when Lindsay gets a chance, he's just unbelievable what he do and the vision that he have. And all my credits go to those guys.
To our right.
It's no secret that you and Alabama are both going to be in the playoff for the fourth consecutive year. We don't know if you guys will meet again, but do you consider Alabama, Clemson a rivalry?
Well, I mean, we've played 3 years in a row, so if we end up, I think 4 probably makes it official. So if we do it this year, we'll officially call it a rivalry. But let's see if we can do it 4 in a row.
To our left.
And we need to beat them more too. You know, it ain't much of a rivalry when you're losing. So we got to win more.
Dabo, Brendan Marks from the Charlotte Observer. Congratulations, first
Thank you.
of all. You mentioned the success you guys have had in the ACC and been so dominant and consistent the past few years. And Coach Narduzzi was very complimentary of your team, said, you know, they're the benchmark in the ACC right now. There's a gap between them and the rest of the division and the conference. Do you feel like that's a fair assessment? And what do you make of the state of ACC football now that you guys have won 4 in a row?
Well, I appreciate that from Coach Narduzzi, but we're 1-1 against Pitt. All right, they beat us last time we played them, so that's kind of what I told him the other day when he was talking about, you know, you guys great job, you're undefeated. And I'm like, yeah, last time we played y'all, we were undefeated too. So I think anybody can beat anybody, and I think we have a tremendous amount of respect for all the teams in this league. If I'm not mistaken, I think Virginia Tech had to win, but I think we have 11 bowl teams. Anybody confirm that? I think our league has 11 bowl teams. Is that right? What is it? 11. We have 11 bowl. We only have 14 teams. So, you know, and you might say, oh, a bowl game. I mean, listen, you have 11 teams with winning records. That it's very competitive, and anybody can beat anybody, in my opinion, in this league. It's incredibly competitive, and I think that's one of the reasons that we've been so successful in postseason, because of what we play, you know, week in and week out in our league. You know, the league never gets the amount of credit that it deserves. But, you know, I mean, I'm thankful, first of all, what we practice against every day. That grinds us up and shapes us and molds us and develops us. But what we play week in and week out, man, you better be ready. And so I have a ton of respect for all the teams in here. So I'm not going to sit up here and say we got something, man. We've worked really hard to build our program, and we're proud of what we've done. But you know, it's that far from the outhouse to the penthouse. So I know how small a margin it is. And there's a lot of great teams in this league that, you know, I think are continuing to you know, build their programs. But, you know, we've been very fortunate to have the consistency that we've had.
Take 2 more questions. Left, middle.
Dabo, you were obviously on December 1st, 2008, dreaming big, thinking big, but were you thinking this big? What you guys,
Yeah.
this run that you guys are on?
Well, as I've said many times, we're not even close to what I was dreaming about. You know, I've never been a small dreamer. You know, I've kind of always, I had a lot of time as a kid to dream because there wasn't much else left to do. So, you know, I've always dreamed big. You know, the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. And so I've always believed in that. And, you know, I think that you gotta be a champion on the inside. You gotta believe the right things, and you gotta be able to see it and have a vision for it. And then you gotta go act upon it. And so you can't be afraid to fail. Can't let other people put limits on what you can and can't do. And so, man, absolutely. I felt like that. I mean, there's a few things I think we could have done better, but I absolutely had a vision for building a program that could be special and that could be hopefully a model in college football. And I think we're still under construction. We still got a lot of work to do. You know, I continue every day and every year to continue to dream and to believe in, you know, a very positive future. So that's just the way I go about things. I've never sat around and said, well, hopefully we could, you know, win 9 games or we can, you know, this and that. I mean, if we're going to dream, let's extravagantly dream. All right. I mean, let's just go all out with it. And then let's get a bunch of good people together and be able to sell that and articulate that and get young people to buy into it. And, man, it's amazing what you can do when you get a bunch of people to come together for a common purpose, singleness of purpose, one heartbeat. You know, it's powerful. It's powerful. It's what the Bible says, you know, two can accomplish more than twice as much as one. And so there's great synergy when you got a lot of people that believe in that same vision. And it's what we got at Clemson.
Middle of the room.
Gary McDaniel, Clemson Sports News. Dabo, your senior class, you mentioned 53 wins, 4 ACC titles, 4 trips to the college football playoff. The legacy they leave behind, can you speak to that?
I really can't. I mean, it's, you know, I was a part of a pretty special group when I was a player. I mean, we went 11-1 my junior year, 13-0. My senior year, we won the first conference championship. I mean, I had an unbelievable experience as a player. Won the national championship. We were pretty special senior class at that time. And then I've been around some great groups here, man. That senior class last year and the senior class the year before. I think this is either the 4th or 5th year in a row that our senior class has become the winningest class in school history. And this group has taken it a step further because they're the winningest class in ACC history, and now they've tied the record for college football. You know, so it's amazing. It really is. And, you know, to me, I think to be great at anything, you have to be very consistent for a long period of time. And, man, these guys are great because they've done that. They've done that. They've been unbelievably consistent for a long period of time, and you just got to tip your hat. For me, as a like I said, as a grown man, to see in this world, to see a bunch of young people be so passionate about something and so just sold out to achieve it and bought in, and just truly love each other. And I mean, the servant leadership on our team is unbelievable. These guys are amazing human beings, first and foremost. I mean, they're great players, but they are unbelievable young people that are going to dominate in life. I mean, I cannot wait 10 years from now. I don't know where we'll be, but 10 years from now to see what this group of young men are going to do in life. I mean, it's going to be unbelievable to see. And I've had some great, amazing, dynamic leaders that have come through our program the last 10 years. But collectively as a group, I've just never seen anything like it. I mean, it's just amazing. And, you know, I wish everybody could be a part of my meetings that I have on Mondays and Fridays with these guys and to hear some of the things that are articulated. It just gives you great inspiration for what our future is going to be. When you've got a bunch of young people like this, man, they're winners. And, you know, they don't let football define them. You know, it's bigger than that with this group, and they're going to do some awesome things in life.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you all. Travis.